If publishers don't provide a summary of web articles, a browser plugin will. Good morning, everybody. Publishers, you want people to read your whole story on the web page because you're proud of every word of it, right? But here's the problem. A lot of times you write it like a mystery novel and force the reader to slog through the whole page and see all the advertisements, of course, before they get the nugget they really want. We'd rather have a summary and get the meat up front. Bosaks posted an article by Aisha Majid, hope I got that right, that says a Swedish daily, which I won't try to pronounce, experimented with providing an AI-generated article summary and found that having that summary actually increases the amount of time people spend on a page. Unexpectedly, the article says, audiences spend longer reading articles that have summaries than those without. The summaries are created by an API connection from the publisher's content management system to ChatGPT, which seems like a smart way to do it. I've tried to find a good WordPress plugin that does the same with no luck so far, so if you know of one, please tell me. The summaries for the Swedish daily weren't always accurate, and the company had the sense to have a policy in place requiring human supervision of any AI-generated content. Now think about that for a moment. That means this new AI-generated wonder actually adds to the editorial workload rather than lessening it. But it's not a big burden, it's about 30 seconds per article. I'd like to stop here and point out a couple questions I have about this story. The first is to ask whether time on page is necessarily a good thing. It is a good thing in terms of search engine optimization. Google ranks your site better if you have higher time on page, apparently on the assumption that more time on the page means you're engaging with the content. But I'm not convinced that's a good metric for the reader. Personally, I'd rather have the content beam directly into my brain and spend no time at all on the page, but seriously, if the reader can get what he wants in less time, that's a plus for the reader, no matter what Google says. And if the publisher won't provide this summary, a browser plugin will. So you have a choice here. Either you can edit it and make it the way you want it, or you can let AI, somebody else's AI, create a summary that you have no control over. My second question has to do with their motivation in pursuing this strategy, which is to get more young readers. The word is that young readers prefer having content in lots of different formats. Okay, but why the obsession with young readers? Do they spend more money? Probably not. In my opinion, media companies need to get over this obsession with young readers. And I'm not only saying this because my beard is mostly gray. I'm saying that because media companies need to think about where their bread is buttered. And generally speaking, it's the older people who are buttering the bread. They have the money. So the bottom line is that this is an interesting experiment in using AI in a thoughtful and responsible way to address reader needs. It will be interesting to follow this and see how it develops. But in the meanwhile, I think it does make some sense to experiment with having summaries on your article pages so people don't have to read the whole thing. And again, if you don't do it, a browser plugin will. I hope you found today's commentary useful, and if so, remember to subscribe, like, and share, and visit me at crablegroup.com. And if there's anything I can do to help you out with your business, please give me a call. I'd love to lend a hand. Thanks.